Mm-hmm. Yep, yep. Probably no music at this point. That's fine. We won't be on the loading screen for too long. Okay. Let's get the, there we go. Hey there, hi there. Hyde here. And I know what you're thinking. This is not my usual streaming time. I only stream once a week, and you're right. I usually do. Uh, I was feeling especially worn out today, especially tired, so here I am now, trying to relax a little, you know? This is Pokemon Legends Arceus. The sequel is coming up in 2025. Welcome to my realm, located beyond both time and space. Do you want to play a game? Do you want to play a game? No. It is well that thou art here. You're talking funny. Is your realm beyond time and space actually just anachronistic? I am that which humans call Arceus. I'm your god. Now I wish to know thine appearance. Well, you made me in your image, Arceus. So I imagine vaguely horse-like. Oh wow. There aren't too many options here, are there? Like, no redheads, unfortunately. I'm very pale. Uh, no red eyes either. Um, I guess we're going with the blonde. That's probably closer. What is thy name? You kidnapped me from my bedroom and you're asking me what my name is? Do you not actually know my name? You just kidnapped me at random? Thought that I looked cool? You can call me Grock. And for those of you who don't know, this is a special type of playthrough, where we will be only using grass-type Pokemon. The interesting thing is, I don't usually do that. Grock. Soon thou shalt find thyself in a world strange to thee. I'm already in one. You kidnapped me from my bed. You think being in a bright glowing ball of light's normal for me? A world inhabited by wondrous creatures that humans call Pokemon. Okay, and what are you? Grock. Now's not the time for questions. Seek out all Pokemon, and thou shalt find me once more. So hold on, let me get this straight. You're going to send me to a different world after kidnapping me from bed, and now I have to find every Pokemon. Is that the gist of this? Do I have to build an arc too? Do I have to put 2 of every Pokemon on site? Or was it like 10 of every Pokemon and then 2 of the hooved ones? I never remember. It's never quite in my memory. What exactly the commandment was to Noah. Yeah. Oh great, I have my phone. No? Oh. Well, it wouldn't have been useful anyway, right? Odds are the other world isn't going to have cell reception, wherever they're sending me. But you are stealing my phone. Did you just want a smartphone? I think you just wanted my smartphone. You could have bought your own. They're not expensive these days. Did you copy over my data before you turned my phone into a glowing mess? Do I have to get a new SIM card? Do I have to transfer it all? Please don't make me transfer all my contacts manually. Oh, I don't want to be there again, Arceus. Perfect. Nice title drop there. The interesting thing here is I usually play this kind of trainer challenge as a bug-type trainer. Wake up! Oh, do wake up, won't you? Oh god. Oh god, they talk. Are you alive, my boy? No? Probably not. Oh, you were talking. That's a little bit more reassuring. Where am I? I was just kidnapped by God. You gave me quite the shock falling from the sky like that. But thank goodness you seem unharmed. Where am I? Why, this is the Prelude Beach, of course. Dear me, did the shock of the fall somehow addle your memory? No. I've hit my head a lot, and it's just been like that ever since I can. Well, I guess ever since I can't remember. I must say, your clothing is unusual. Well, I was in bed sleeping. The fact that I have sandals at all is amazing to me. You wouldn't happen to have an acquaintance in these parts, would you? Arceus, God. I think so. Like, he just threw me here. He's an acquaintance, right? I see. You seem to be in a bit of a pickle. Might I offer some directions? Do you have somewhere around here you could stay? Probably not. No. I was told this was a different world. So you don't know anyone here, and you don't even know where to spend the night. Well, this is a proper pickle indeed. Are you quite sure you'll be able to survive? I don't think I'll be allowed to die. Like, Arceus would not be entertained if I died too early, I think. And I'm pretty sure that's what's going on here. That I'm just entertaining God in one of his sick Saw games. So yeah, I'll probably live. Not very convincing, boy. I see. Well, no gentleman would abandon a person in such need. I just said I didn't have a need. You can leave me alone. Crew. Foom. Plish plash. Oh my, I'd completely forgotten. I just caught up these 3 runaway Pokemon when you tumbled out of the sky. It's almost as if they knew you'd appear here. Ah, but do you even know what a Pokemon is? No. Just a completely blank face. Oh no, this isn't good. You don't. You truly have traveled a long way, haven't you? A different world, some would say. Well, these 3 here are what we call Pokemon. Very mysterious creatures, you see. Marvelous. Oh yes, what might your name be? I'm Grock. Oh, so you're called Grock. That's an unusual name. So is yours, whatever it is. Question mark, question mark, question mark. That name has quite the ring to it. I imagine it must have some lovely meaning. Grass plus Brock. Oh, but I do apologize, I haven't even introduced myself yet. Well, it says Laventon. My name is Laventon. I'm something of a Pokemon professor myself, you see. That is to say, I'm a scholar seeking to deepen our understanding of Pokemon. Yes, Pokemon such as these 3 here. Where are you going, you little shits? Get back here. Oh, blast and bother. My darling Pokemon. Why must you run from me again? Seems like you're not a very good trainer, Laventon. I'm terribly sorry, but do you think you could help me round them up? I beg you. I don't even know what these things are, Laventon. I've got no idea. They're some kind of animals. One has fire on its body. What do you want me to do? Wait, you 3, wait! Okay, fine. We'll help him out, I guess. There's a way to roll in this game, isn't there? Let me just familiarize myself with things. No, God is not done playing with me yet. There's a glowing, beeping object over there. Yeah, I didn't see that, thank you. What is it? You found something that resembles a phone, which means it is no longer a phone. It's probably your phone, but it's changed shape. You feel a strange power emanating from it. A message appeared on the screen. I bestow upon thee this Arc phone, and thy mission, seek out all Pokemon. Then, out of the Pokemon's corpses, build an Arc. Fill it with 2 of every type of human. And then, the floods start. Yeah. Okay. It's been a while since I've played Arceus. I know there's a rolling feature. I don't think I can do it yet. Which is kinda sad. Rolling around is the best part of any video game. Sigh. Alas, yet another miss. What's wrong, Laventon? Aha! I'm glad you've come to my rescue, my new friend from the sky. You're awfully trusting, Leventon. How do you know that I'm actually a friend? I tried catching my little runaways by tossing some Pokeballs their way, but I'm not the best at this sort of thing, you see? That's pretty sad. I'd love to give you a go at it, but perhaps I should tell you a bit about these three first. Now that one is Rowlet. Rowlet can photosynthesize like a plant, and apparently it battles using its sharp feathers. You haven't seen it done? Some kind of scholar you are. Crew. That one's on fire. I don't know why. That one over there is Cyndaquil. The fire burning on Cyndaquil's back will flare up whenever it is surprised or irate. So it's very unhappy right now, and you want me to go get third-degree burns catching it? Foom. This one looks fun. Pokemon near the pond is Oshawott. Oshawott naps while floating on the water, and it can battle using the shell-like object on its belly. Plish Plash. Oh my, I nearly forgot to cover the most crucial thing. How to go about catching Pokemon. Listen, Professor, I have hands. I know how to catch small animals. Maybe not ones on fire, but if you give me some fire-resistant clothes, maybe I can do it for you. No, that won't be necessary. There you are, my boy, Pokeballs. Throw these at Pokemon to catch them. You obtained 50 Pokeballs, that's very generous. A mysterious ball that can be thrown at wild Pokemon in order to catch them. These balls can be crafted by hand if you gather the necessary materials. So easy, even a child could do it. Ah, but that won't do for an explanation, will it? I do apologize, let me be more thorough. Now, I've mentioned already that Pokemon are strange, marvelous creatures. What's so strange about them, you ask? One was on fire, that's pretty strange to me. Well, each and every Pokemon is able to shrink itself down to minuscule size. Okay, that might be a bit stranger. And that's where Pokeballs come in. We just stuff them right in there. Pokeballs are a recent invention, you see. Throw one of them at a Pokemon and... why, the Pokemon will shrink down and fit inside the ball. Comfy as can be. And with that, you've got a Pokemon. I know we've just met, but I'm afraid I've no one else to turn to. Literally only you, a mysterious boy who fell from the sky. I'd be awfully grateful if you could catch my 3 runaways. Now the proper technique is to take aim at the Pokemon, then let the ball fly. It's quite simple. Though far be it from me to say so, I suppose, given my own dire lack of skill in this area. Yes, ZR, sure. Okay. Uh-huh. Release. Uh-huh. Okay, I got this. Well, since I don't have a choice in the matter, I guess I'll go catch Pokemon for you. Yeah, just like that. You just bonk him on the head. Like that, Professor Laventon? Oh, wonderful! You've caught a Pokemon! You really struggle with this? It seems you've quite the knack for this Pokemon catching business, Grock. Yeah, I threw a lot of stones at windows in my youth. I don't mean to brag. Jolly useful skill to have around here. Only 2 of my darling runaways left now. Still, this is most unusual. You don't seem fearful of Pokemon in the slightest. Well, you know, God kidnapped me and he's not going to let me go home until I finish this job. Which is apparently to catch Pokemon. So what can I do, really? Right? I just have to do it. I can hardly believe it, Grock. Incredible. You know, many people fear to even approach Pokemon. Never mind catch them. Bravo indeed. Just 1 more to go. Let's wrap this up sharpish, shall we? Okay, Laventon. If you say so. I believe the last one's over here by the rocks. There you are, you little Cyndaquil. Gonna bonk you on the head. It sees me. I think it saw me. Yeah, it saw me. Ah yes, I'm afraid that can happen too. Pokeballs are hardly 100% foolproof. Give it another go, old boy. Are you calling me old or young? I can't tell. Doctor, I think it sees me, and this one's the most dangerous of all. It's literally on fire. Oh, oh, oh. See that sidestep? It knew what was coming. Okay, Professor, I think we got it. Where are we going from here? I caught your Pokemon for you. Stuff them into tiny balls and everything. Thank you very much indeed. Oh, what a relief to have them all back. You see, the 3 Pokemon you caught have only just arrived at the village to help with our research. They won't yet listen to anyone. And as I mentioned, they bolted from the village almost as if they knew you'd come falling. But I must say, Grock, I was taken aback by how well you used Pokeballs. How is it that you catch Pokemon so ably when you've only just arrived here? Again, I threw a lot of stones at windows. A little petty vandalism, you know, strengthens the throwing arm quite a bit. One can't help but think there's a reason you appeared here and now. Yeah, I was kidnapped by God. No, I'm not going to elaborate. Apparently I am going to elaborate. Seek out all Pokemon. I see. That object is an ARC phone, you say. What an odd device. Could it be guiding you somehow? More like keeping me in line, so I don't deviate from the script that Arceus finds so entertaining. If you'll indulge me for a moment, there's something I'd like to share with you. You see, I have a dream. To compile this region's first complete record of its Pokemon. I don't know, like a Pokedex of sorts? We in the field called such thing a Pokedex. How did you know? Oh yeah, yeah. Yes, a proper Pokedex is a wonderful work of research containing detailed records of all the Pokemon to be found in a region. But in order to properly document Pokemon, one must of course catch them. And therein lies the rub, I'm afraid. Pokeballs have only just been invented, and not many have mastered the skill of using them. Enter you, a person with clear talent for catching Pokemon. Just take a kid off the street who can throw a rock. It's the same general principle. Like, Pokeballs are probably easier to throw than any standard rock. Rocks tend to be jagged, they don't fly straight. Your goal is to seek out every Pokemon, and mine is to have all those Pokemon caught. A situation ripe for teamwork, don't you agree? Come now, what do you say? Shall we help one another out, my boy? Well, no. I don't think so. God probably wouldn't want me help. No? Come now, what do you say? Shall we help one another out, my boy? No, I'm telling you, God probably wouldn't want me to do that. I think he wants me to do this. Come now, what do you say? Shall we help one another out, my boy? Your smile is turning aggressive. I don't think I have a choice. You've convinced me. Please don't murder me. Of course, splendid. Then whoever and from wherever you may be, I welcome you with open arms. We've a Pokedex to complete. First things first, let's get these Pokemon back to the village. Then we'll sort out your lodgings and find you some proper clothes and a meal at that. Follow me then, onward to Jubilife Village. That's one of the best parts of this game, how almost one-to-one the map is to the Brilliant Diamond and whatever Pearl game, yeah. Like sure, I think it's the coastlands don't exactly match up, but most of it is pretty much just a one-to-one recreation of the map in a larger view. Thank you for your tireless work keeping us safe, my good guardsman. Who does that? This young man was of great assistance to me and my Pokemon, so I hope you'll forgive my bringing him into the village for a bit, shall we say. No. He needs identification, sir. Sir, where are you going, sir? Should we not have stopped? Okay. It's a pretty one-street kind of town, you know? A lot of streets, or a lot of towns have one main street. I don't think a lot of houses were built so block-like like this before. This way, if you please. But I guess it's very efficient planning. Jubilife Village, it's come a long way thanks to the fine people of the Galaxy team. This road we're on now is known as Canela Avenue. I understand you must be more than a tad curious about the— Do stick close, we can't have you getting lost. Oh, I wanted to explore. The village was built scarcely 2 years ago. Much to do, and since we know so little of the local Pokemon, people hesitate to set foot outside the village. Now the impressive building up ahead of us is Galaxy Hall, headquarters for the Galactic team. Nice smokestacks you have there. Very festive. Oh, botheration. I'd almost forgotten. I need to go and report that we successfully recovered that escaped Pokemon. Might I ask you to wait for me at the canteen? Sure. It's just past the bridge here, then to the left. The Wallflower, it's called. It's a pretty name. Oh, Arceus, are you not done messing with me yet? Your ARC phone is beeping. Somehow, it seems to show where you need to go next. Yes, use the minus button to view the map. I get it. I've done this before. So I need to... The fact that I can't roll is very annoying, because I know I can later. You, sir, I was told to wait here. Who are you? I think I'd recognize you. Well now, aren't you awfully suspicious? Couldn't I say the same to you, Mr. Green Mustache? The Wallflower's for Galaxy Team folk only. We don't have seats for outsiders. Move along. I was told to wait here, though. Oh, sad. Very sad. Who are you? I've never seen anyone dressed like you are. What if you were attacked by a Pokemon? You'd be mincemeat in those flimsy clothes. If the guard let you through, you must have ties with somebody in the village. Yeah, I do. Some old man wearing a funny hat. Perhaps you've met Professor Laventon. He's a scholar from a faraway place. His Pokemon do get away from him at times, though. It makes me a bit worried for him. Me too. Also, his smile is very aggressive. I suppose I'm hardly one to talk. I've had some trouble with Pokemon myself. I was hit by a Pokemon move called Thundershock not so long ago and had to take my bed. Yeah, I wonder if your heart stopped. But the professor, well, I do wonder how long he'll last. He does look pretty old for this time period. He probably only has a couple years in him. Unfortunately, it's just as Akari says. I'm a clumsy sort of fellow, to put it mildly. Professor? Yes, I heard everything you said, and I'm going to write it down in a report. But everything will be quite alright now. Grock here has agreed to help us with our Pokedex. This guy? Really? Excuse me? You plan to appoint him to the Survey Corps? You can't just slap a badge on whoever you like without Captain Silene's permission. I'll allow it. Captain Silene? Everyone I'm talking about shows up. It's like some kind of massive coincidence. Assuming the individual can contribute to the Survey Corps, that is. I am the captain of the Galaxy Team Survey Corps. You may call me Silene. Professor Laventon has told me how you helped secure his Pokemon when they slipped his control. And now it seems you would like us to feed and house you in exchange for your ongoing labor. That means you're essentially an indentured servant. You don't have a choice. You look to be 15 or so. Quite old enough to work for your keep. If you don't like this job, we can have you work in the mines. But we can't simply take on a stranger who wanders in among us without any idea of their skills or origins. Tomorrow, we shall see if you can prove yourself worthy. Oh, a most reasonable decision, Captain. Now, would you care to join us for a meal? I'm sure you've got plenty of questions for our visitor. That's quite all right. I prefer to eat alone, so I might appreciate my meals without distraction. Very cold woman. Yes. Aloof as always, I see. That's one word for it, Laventon. Well, no matter. The rest of us can share a meal and some pleasant conversation then, eh? really rather not, though. Benny, old chum, the usual potato mochi if you please, but make it 3 for today. I don't want to serve the young kid. Wonderful stuff, Benny, much obliged. Your potato mochi never failed to please. Yes, yes. Now get rid of the stranger. Professor Laventon, where exactly did you meet our visitor here? Ah, well, you know of the Great Hole in the Sky, the one people call the Space-Time Rift? Our new friend fell right out of it. I thought he would break his neck. I was going to loot his corpse, but, you can't be serious. I am. Like, look at his strange clothing. Who knows what he has? Come now, I am a scientist. My job is to observe and explain any and all phenomena. I concern myself only with the facts. And the mochi. Now, you already know there are many Pokemon here in the Hisui region. That there are, in the grass and forest, by water, or wherever they like. Our job as a Survey Corps is to research them and find out what kind of creatures they are. Yes, well, we know this much. Pokemon are terrifying creatures. Terrifying creatures that you're going to have to catch. But it's all but impossible to know what kinds of powers they might possess or what sorts of wondrous things they can do. But that's where Grock will come in. We'll send him out there as bait, and he can get the information by getting tased or lit on fire to our heart's content. He successfully caught 3 Pokemon, you know. 3 of them in quick order, you understand. Nobody in the Galaxy team is capable of a feat such as that. This means we can finally begin our Pokemon research in earnest. That's right, Akari. There's a new competition, and you're quickly losing favor. So do try to keep up. 3? We have a hard enough time catching even 1 wild Pokemon. We have a hard enough time catching even 1 when wild Pokemon come after us. Ah, well, to be perfectly fair, the Pokemon that fled to the beach weren't on the attack. But the key to catching Pokemon is getting close enough to aim your Pokeball well. And it seems our new friend is fearless enough to do just that. Does the Survey Corps really have the leeway to be enjoying a leisurely meal with the outsider? I'd like you to get rid of him. He's a clear threat. Your captain just ordered 10 whole portions of potato mochi, you know. The slow progress on the Pokedex of yours clearly has her on edge. I'm sure we'll all start to rein in the good captain's stress eating soon enough. Now have your fill, Grock. It might be your last meal. And think, if you make it into the Galaxy team, if you survive, you'll never have to worry about a meal again. So long as you like potato mochi. The team provides for all its members' needs, even if said members fell out of the sky. That's very helpful because I might have to see a doctor about the whole falling from a sky thing. I think I might have injured my neck. That was quite delicious indeed. Did you hear me about the neck injury? Like, do you see how red my head has gotten? That's not normal. There might be some, like, swelling going on up there in my face. Quite delicious indeed. Yes, the food was lovely, but more importantly, you do remember that Grock has a trial to pass to join our Survey Corps, don't you? Not to worry, I have complete confidence in Grock's skills. Let's hope it's not misplaced. Grock, was it? For tonight, at least, we will provide you with a place to sleep. You may use our quarters there. All the way at the end. That one. But if you fail to pass the trial, we will put you out tomorrow. You must move on. You will be expelled from the village to meet your fate, and perhaps your death, in the wilds. Do your best. Scary lady. Captain Silene's somewhat like Hisui, in that they're both quite harsh. Now, she simply puts on a stern front to help keep us all safe. At any rate, I think it's time we turned in for the night, eh? It's a good thing one can't fall out of the futons we sleep in here. I imagine our new friend has had enough falling for one day. Yes, well, I was kidnapped out of a bed, so I can't imagine I couldn't be kidnapped out of a futon. And with that, I bid you both a good night. Yes, good night. Okay. Okay, Arceus, I'm here. What do you want from me? A rift in the sky, people falling from it. The world is full of mysteries. What do you want from me, Arceus? I will find my way back, Arceus, just to spite you. I think I'll make it my mission to cram Arceus inside of one of those tiny little balls. Just so I can't kidnap people anymore, you know? I think that'd be doing the world a favor. It's a nice place. I get this for free. Very nice. What is it? No, I don't need to read those. Checking survey tips. Survey tips contain all sorts of useful information. Up button. Yes, okay, great. Don't wish your toils to be forgotten. Diligent record keeping will save you from such a fate. To save your progress, press the up button to open the menu, then scroll with the ZL. Okay, sure. We get it. Maybe I should do that. Save your progress. Very good. Now let me sleep. I haven't been able to sleep. Yes. I haven't been able to sleep since I was kidnapped. I think it's only fair that Arceus lets me sleep without harassing me, at least once. Oh, that does not look good. I'm sure it's fine. I'm sure. Nothing bad could happen, right? The next day. Ah, right. That's an unfamiliar ceiling. Good morning, Grock. Are you up? Quite some lightning last night, wasn't it? I hope it was just lightning. Today's the day of your trial, so let's give it our all. You don't have any faith in me at all, do you, Akari? That's okay. You don't have to. I'm gonna prove you wrong. Okay? I'm gonna do everything in this world out of spite. I'm gonna win out of spite. I'm gonna put Arceus in a ball out of spite. And I'm going to be the best researcher out of spite. What lovely leather we've got here. No, out of spite. I hope you had a nice sleep, even if this land is strange and new to you. Okay, immediately taking that back, Akari's okay in my book. Not out of spite. Let's get to headquarters. Captain Silene is waiting. Headquarters is the big garish building over there, right? Yeah, I don't think I could miss that one. Did everybody build the town around this building? Or was the building, you know, built later? It looks so very different from the rest of the buildings. The architecture is clearly more modern, but it's also in the middle of everything. So they probably had to bulldoze a house or something. A couple houses in the row, just to put this big garish building here. And the worst part is, it's mostly empty. The Survey Corps offices are here on the first floor. Don't give up, keep those eyes open. The wild Pokemon, they were everywhere, attacking from all sides. I sent out my partner Pokemon, but against a whole pack, outnumbered. This is what happens when you go so far afield, but the Medical Corps will put you into rights. I don't remember if Purcell is a woman or not. I think it might be the old lady over there. That man's with the Security Corps, and even with his own partner, he took a beating from wild Pokemon. Without a partner Pokemon of your own, you might find this trial particularly trying. Isn't that part of the point? Captain Silene, Grock is here. You may enter. You may enter. Okay. Yeah, running around in sandals does not seem like it would be fun. There's not enough support on the heels. Let us get straight to it. If you wish to join the Galaxy Expedition team, prove yourself capable by going out into the Obsidian Fieldlands and catching 3 different species of Pokemon. Bidoof, Starly, and Shinx. Catching 3 Pokemon from the start? No one in the Galaxy team has ever managed that. Did this stranger not catch 3 different Pokemon only yesterday? My trial should be simple enough for him. If the professor wasn't exaggerating things, that is. And if he was, you're going to die out in the fields. The Galaxy team does not have the means to provide for those who only take without giving. If you wish to stay, you must prove beyond any doubt that you'll be an asset to our cause. I will lend you one of our Survey Corps satchels to carry whatever you may need in the field. Hey, we got a bag. Good for us. That's not going to carry much, is it? That satchel doesn't exactly match your mode of dress. Yes, well, this isn't Fashion Souls. Akari, I'll expect you to step in if anything goes awry. What could go awry? You mean like thunder shocks? Press the Y button while consulting the map in your ARC phone. Yeah, I know. Pardon, Grock, come with me for a moment. What do you want, old man? Now then, a jolly good morning to everyone. Is something the matter, Professor Laventon? In order to complete our Pokedex and, well, simply survive in this unforgiving land, Grock absolutely must pass this trial. And as a professor of Pokemon, I've got just the ticket to help you accomplish that. Oh good, these guys again. Crew. Foom. Plish Plash. Yes. Go on, Grock. Pick the Pokemon that strikes your fancy. With a partner of your own, you'll be able to fight off wild Pokemon outside the village. These little darlings are very dear to me, but it's plain to see they're rather curious about you. Well, my boy, which Pokemon would you like to keep as your very own? Well, I am Grock, so I have to pick the grass. Crew. Do you want Rowlet as your first partner? I kinda have to. That's the rule, Laventon. Personally, I think Oshawott is probably cooler, especially the Hisuian Oshawott. But that's okay. And with that, one of the Pokemon you caught at Prelude Beach for me will now be yours to keep. The other ones you caught? Well, don't worry about them. Good show. I've chucked Rowlet back inside its Pokeball for you. Really had to shove it in there. So take it. It's yours. Mind the blood. It'll stop doing that after a while. Once it learns. You received Rowlet. Great. A word of advice, my boy. Pay close attention to which Pokeballs are empty and which ones contain a Pokemon when you're out in the field. Boom. Plash. They look as if they're cheering on their friend Rowlet. Or perhaps they're jealous that it gets to help you with your trial. That could be that could well be. They did go dashing from the village when Grock fell out of the sky, after all. Well, not to worry, you two. I'll have you assist me with my research for now. Boom. Plish Plash. By the by, what species has Captain Silene charged you with catching? Bidoof, Shinx, and Starly? Well, that's smashing. All three of those species can be found in the Obsidian Fieldlands. Let me give you some Pokeballs to use during your trial, then. Sweet. Free Pokeballs. Like, it's implied that Silene would not have given us Pokeballs, and thus the trial would have been impossible for us. Yeah. These Pokeballs may be handcrafted. They work a treat, as you've already seen. You'll have this trial cleared in no time, Grock. I guess you're finally ready. You'll have to leave the village for your trial. Turn left after you exit headquarters, then head for the gate. Yes. Turn west, and gate. Yes, we can do this. I really want to learn how to dash, right? I I know I can dash, and it's very not great that I can't dash. What are you doing over here, Akari? You were just in the building. I remember you being in the building, Akari. How did you get over here so quickly? Oh, what a curious getup you have there. I can already tell you're quite the character, says the guy with the hair over his eye. It's not an eye patch. Friday stream, how unusual. Hello, Diana. Yeah, it's a little bit unusual. Just having a relaxing day. I'm Volo of the Ginkgo Guild, the go-to choice for any of your mercantile needs here in Hisui. I've heard talk about you, fell from the sky, didn't even die. Now that's certainly a tale I'd like to hear. Oh, and you've a Pokemon. You're certainly full of interesting surprises. Investigating the odd and novel is key to any good merchant success. So, what do you say? How about you and I see how our Pokemon stand up to one another in a battle? No. I'd rather not. I have a trial to take on. But what's the point of having a Pokemon then? Come on now, it's just a friendly competition. No, seriously, have a trial? My whole life depends on this. Captain Silene said that I would not be able to come back if I did not catch the Pokemon. But what's the point of having a Pokemon then? I don't think you're listening to me, Volo. Like, this is life or death for me. You can't just stop me before I go out on a life or death mission. Fine. I like you better and better. What a delightful find. People just do what they want in this game. Ah, the illusion of choice. Very much so. You don't actually have a choice. It's part of my headcanon that all of these characters are just like NPCs actually created by Arceus himself to funnel you into doing whatever he wants you to do for his own entertainment. I've also heard about this trial you're to attempt, and you're preventing me from doing it. Let's have a quick battle to get your blood pumping before you head out. Though I hope you know you'll lose if your Pokemon's HP reaches 0. That's great advice. Thank you. One of the worst parts about this game is exactly this, the hand-holding. It takes about an hour just to get out of the tutorial. Other Pokemon games have been pretty hand-holdy as of late, but it's not usually an hour. Go ahead and use Gust, Rowlet. Let's squash this egg. I don't think it actually matters if you lose or win this early battle. Volo is going to heal us, Volo is going to give us potions. That's kind of what I mean by, it's all for Arceus's entertainment more than anything. There is no choice, there are no consequences. Moves, items, use them well, and the world will open up to you. I didn't use any items, what are you talking about? I just had him use Gust over again. It's always good fun to have your Pokemon do battle, don't you think? And as they gain experience through battle, they'll learn more moves and grow even stronger. Pokemon sometimes learn new moves when they level up. If you want to change the moves your Pokemon can use in battle, open your satchel. Yes. I actually do enjoy that you can change the moves from the inventory at any time. But so few people have their own Pokemon. If only more knew how to use Pokeballs. At any rate, let me help our two battlers recover from their little exercise. Yes, you didn't just detain me here. And to you, my sky-fallen friend, I present some potions in thanks. You obtained 5 potions. Great. You can use them on your Pokemon whenever they might be worn out from battle. I'll be hoping that you're successful on that trial of yours. After all, I need you to be successful. If you're not successful, I'll never find Arceus. More Galaxy team members means more customers for yours truly, after all. Probably. I'll be rooting for you, Grock. Just gives off final villain vibes right from the start. That's really something. Not only can you catch Pokemon, you can lead them in battle. Now to the Obsidian Fieldlands. When you're leaving Jubilife Village, make sure you choose a destination from your map and tell Rest, the guardsman, where you're going. That way, someone can come to your aid if you're knocked out by a Pokemon. That's right, kid. Talk to me first. Your trial begins just a short way past the front gate. I thought it began now. Where are you going, kid? You're Grock, correct? I was informed you'd be passing through. Your trial will take place outside the safety of the village. Please take care to come back alive. We don't want to have to send anyone to retrieve your corpse. I do enough of that. It is very handholdy, but I think this is probably the best Pokemon game ever made. Yeah. And I'm saying that as, like, a Gen 1 supremacist, right? Although, my first Pokemon game was Pokemon Yellow. This is our base camp, the last safe haven before you reach the wilds. For your trial, you must catch 3 species of Pokemon: Bidoof, Starly, and Shinx. Are you ready to get started? Oh, Professor, is something wrong? Or have you just been stalking our young visitor? Ah, well, you see, Captain Silene got a hold of me after you left. She impressed upon me that I bear full responsibility for whatever happens to our sudden guest. That's our unsparing captain. What help exactly can you offer out here, Professor? It's not like you can catch Pokemon, and you certainly can't battle with them. That's why we need Grock, after all. You don't have to rub it in, Akari. I'll put that in the report, too. To be honest, my dear girl, I don't intend to lift a finger. Grock's talents are the real deal. He'll pass with flying colors. You'll see. I don't believe you. Ah, so the responsibility for him still lies, in fact, with me then. Well, I'm sure Grock will be fine. Let's begin the trial. Sure, let's do that. Can I... No. No. Can't do it yet. I'm pretty sure the dodge roll is Y. This is Aspiration Hill. The species of Pokemon you're meant to catch all live here, in this neatly contained area. You don't have to go more than 10 feet. Isn't that wonderful, Grock? Look, there's a Bidoof. Time to get ready to catch it. Professor, don't have to lift a finger. That's exactly what's going on here. I was caught by Arceus, kidnapped from my bed at night, and now I'm indentured to this galaxy survey team. Why? Like, the first thing he said to me was not, "Are you okay? Did you break your neck when you fell from the sky?" It's, "My Pokemon escaped. Help me catch them." The key is to aim carefully. Not that you seem to need my advice. I'm just sharing what I know. Yes, I know what to do. Bidoof has a mellow disposition. That means it tends not to run from people. So this'll be easy. Yes. Do you want me to talk to you first, or should I throw a Pokeball at it? Is that what you wanted? Is this what you want from me, Akari? You caught a Bidoof! Well done. Time to find your next Pokemon. We're not going to use the Bidoof, by the way. We're not going to do that. I know what you're thinking. Are you sure you know where you're going? Yes. Let me grab it. Let me... Fine. Okay, fine. What do you want from me? Can't do anything in this game. That's a Starly, Grock. They're skittish little things. They'll run if startled. But it's a Bidoof! I know it's a Bidoof. But we are playing as Grock, the grass-type Pokemon trainer. But you should be able to get close to them if you crouch. You'll be harder to spot. I know how to crouch. Bidoofs are cute, don't get me wrong. So are Starlies. But the fact of the matter is, we are a grass-type Pokemon trainer. Just like Grock is a ground type, I think? Rock type? Whatever rock type is. Give it a few leaves to hold, it'll fit right in. I think we'd know the difference. I don't think that quite works. Maybe if it came with a twig, I could, like a Farfetch'd. If it were a Farfetch'd and it came with a leek, maybe I could accept that as part grass. No? No? You really want the Bidoof, huh? I don't know what to tell you. We're doing a grass only. Usually I do bugs only. This is a bit of a divergence for me. That's Starly caught as well. Only one more Pokemon to go. The reason I'm not doing bug-type Pokemon is, there are truly too few Pokemon that are bug types in this game. Most of them come up in the first 2 areas, which is not ideal. There's very little team building after the first 2 areas. I forgot. There's something I have to teach you since you're still new to this. Here's the proper way to throw your partner's Pokeball. As Captain Silene tells us, have an item at the ready but want to send out a Pokemon, press X. Have a Pokemon at the ready but want to throw an item, press X. So I'd be a bug catcher? Yeah, absolutely. I usually play as Brug. Brug is not a character I invented, but I like the name, and he absolutely has all bug teams. So my main save for this has Brug, and he has a team with a Scizor and pretty much every decent bug Pokemon in this game. We're gonna get a couple of those, actually, because in this first area, there are 2 bug-type Pokemon, which are also part grass. So, I think there will be enough diversity in the grass type that I'll get my bug fix as well as other things. Ever play as Brick? How would Brick be? Like a fighting type? That'd be pretty fun. No. Or maybe you mean like ice? Ice type? I don't think there are too many ice types early on in the game. I did look at them, and I thought to myself, what could I actually catch a decent, diverse team of? That's why I chose grass. Captain's a real expert on these things. See that tree that you just took the berries out of? Oh, I don't have to tell you this because you've already done it. Fire and fighting? Oh. Okay, there's 2 bricks. I don't know if that... What would it be? Like, would it be like Frick? Or... okay, sure. If your Pokemon finds any berries or other items, it'll bring them to you. Now it's time for your partners to shine. We've reached your final hurdle, catching a Shinx. I have never really focused on a team of fire or fighting types. Early on in my Pokemon journeys, I would just pick the coolest Pokemon that I could find. In Pokemon Yellow, of course, you have to keep your Pikachu with you for the entire time. There, that's Shinx. Don't talk to me, I'm sneaking. Hello, Karen. Karan? Karan. XD. Big smiley. Yes. I don't know. I just didn't like the fighting types. The original fighting types were like the Hitmonlee and Hitmonchan combo. They're pretty cool. And you can only get... Are you using a controller? Yes, I'm using Switch. This is native on a Switch with a capture card. I'm actually using the Joy-Cons disconnected. It's fine. Jinx has an aggressive disposition. Could you already tell that? Yes. It's going to attack you with an electric shock. I thought you might. I can never tell until I focus on a Pokemon carefully. Once aggressive Pokemon get irate, they'll knock aside any ball you throw at them. Yes, I know. Don't worry though, I'll teach you the trick to catching aggressive Pokemon. You've got to battle them. Once they're absorbed with battling, you can throw a Pokeball at them to try and catch them. By now you've got several Pokemon of your own, don't you? Take one of their Pokeballs and throw it near a wild Pokemon you want to battle. Yes, Diana, related question on the controller. I've got no doubt you'll hold on your own in battle. What position are you in? Ah, that's a great question. That's actually a wonderful question. So I am sitting kind of cross-legged, and I have one hand over the other. So the Joy-Cons are crossed over what they should usually be. I think Gus is probably going to be the best one. Very related. How comfortable is it? Is that going to be your next question? I can only imagine what would be very related to that. Like, you don't actually have to move your controllers at all. The gyroscopes, the pointers, there are no gimmicks here. They're not used, really. You can do everything with the buttons. No, don't knock the Shinx out, catch it! Oh, sorry, I got distracted. Even in battle, you can throw an empty Pokeball at it, like you would any other time. Okay, we'll fight again. Tried to play this on my PC keyboard. Oh yeah, that sounds frustrating. I do recommend controllers. Every button has a use on this little Joy-Con, and the way it's situated, yeah, I could see how that would be awful for, trying to use a keyboard for it. Oh, I'm disappointed. I was hoping for the lawyer to work on his bed while kick- No, no. No, I'm not in my bed. I never record from bed. Beds are for sleeping. Turns out, yeah, well, like a normal gamer, I don't know. Like, I don't think a normal gamer would be like, well, I don't need to get into my setup. Let's just say that it's mostly normal. How about that? You approached those Pokemon without a hint of fear and caught each one. Except for the one you murdered. Do you like Machamp? Machamps are great. They're very, macho, you know? They're like the most masculine Pokemon I could think of. I remember early on in the Pokemon edit days, people would put like Diglett's head on a Machamp body and be like, this is what's underneath the Diglett. I remember doing that with a lot of Pokemon too. Like, I would do a lot of sprite edits. And yet you refuse to elaborate. Yes, mostly normal. That's right, Diana. Yes. I refuse to elaborate because it's incriminating to myself and would make me seem less normal. You can catch one in this game? Oh yeah. Yeah, you can absolutely catch Machamps in this game. You can catch Machamps in this Obsidian Fieldlands section. As soon as you get, what was it? The deer mount, I can't remember the name of the deer. It's not Stantler, it's Weird Deer. You can actually glitch up a mountain wall and catch them early. Have I watched JoJo's? I'm afraid I'm not a JoJo fan. I've seen memes from JoJo. Is that a JoJo reference? You're like a gift the sky dropped to us. Or, you know, a plaything dropped by God. With you at our side, I think the Survey Corps has a real chance of compiling a complete Pokedex as we've been ordered. Sad, so sad. What's sad, Diana? This is wonderful. I'm still curious why on earth he came falling from the sky like he did, but for now, let's tell the professor we're ready to head back. Missing a key source of joy? Is JoJo so joyful? Like, I don't have that much time these days to be watching anime. I say as I watch every new isekai trash that comes out. It's a very masculine anime, and I don't see a problem with that. I like the masculine anime. It's just not something I watched when it came out because of timing. I was working in a fairly time-lost job, you know? Pretty much a black company. It's changed your life. You're a new person? It's redefined your life. A new noodle. Ooh. I had no idea it was so life-changing. Like, I hear it's good, don't get me wrong. And the music I've heard is fantastic. Fantastic enough to be memed on. Yeah, I've heard great things. It's just, it came out at the worst possible time for me. When I was working essentially at a black company and I just didn't have time. So there is this big period of time where just pop culture is blank for me. Fresh out of the pasta roller. Oh yeah, yeah, laminated even, right? Like, I hope you laminated yourself, you became, like, stronger, the gluten network became stronger. Have you played Cry of Fear? I have not played Cry of Fear. I'm not much of a gamer either. I don't usually even stream games. This is a rarity. I usually do Zatsudan streams about once a week, and I play indie games a lot. I like indie games because you get to see the intentions of the indie developer. They're less polluted or diluted by the numbers of a big game, right? Big games need big teams. Waterproof? I don't think noodles are waterproof. They get soggy when you boil them. Oh, I said you'd pass the trial with flying colors, and it seems you went and did just that. Congratulations, Grock. You've taken your first step towards seeking out every Pokemon. This calls for a commemorative photograph. Say Fuzzy Pickles! No. He's mocking me. With skills like yours, I suppose this was a foregone conclusion. Now then, we'd best report to Captain Silene. Time to head back to Jubilife Village, eh? Are you Canadian? Or do you just like saying A? I don't mind either way. Yeah, I don't typically do, like, mainstream games as a stream. Just felt like doing it today. What starter did I pick? I picked Rowlet. We're doing a grass-type Pokemon-only challenge. So, I'm gonna get rid of all the Pokemon that aren't grass-type, and we're just going to do grass types. I will catch him a champ eventually, but I don't think he'll be on my team, unfortunately. In time, you'll be able to send Pokemon you've got to live in the village pastures, which is better than just killing them, right? Yeah, that's usually what happens when you send them away. You can bring up to 6 Pokemon with you into the field, in theory, though we've never had anyone skilled enough to do so. Come now, you two, let's not dilly-dally. Captain Silene awaits our report at headquarters. I bet Captain Silene will be very pleased. Although you won't be able to tell it from her face. Yes, we picked Rowlet because, it's the only grass type. Whenever I do these challenges and it's not grass, water, or fire, I usually say to myself, as soon as I get out of a tutorial, I have to play that type. Breloom exists in this game? I don't actually remember if Breloom does. I know there are like 16 grass Pokemon in this game. Not many. This game is surprisingly light on Pokemon, so it's going to be challenging. I know there are 2 Pokemon that we can get in the Obsidian Fieldlands, and they're not going to be easy to get either. So we're mostly going to be going Rowlet for the time being. We will catch other Pokemon as well, because we kinda have to in order to up our Pokedex stars. Upping our Pokedex stars is essentially the same as getting a gym badge in other games. It allows you to train higher level Pokemon and have them actually obey you. That's very important in this game. Breloom, I don't remember Breloom being on the list though. Don't quote me on it. It seems we won't have to leave you to die after all. And here I was hoping that we would. Well, one more mouth to feed. Congratulations. You've passed your trial. You can hold on to that satchel. I must admit, you've impressed me, but just a little. I set a high hurdle to judge whether a stranger like yourself could be worthy, but you cleared it. Pangoro a lot? Oh yes. The new Legends game. I mentioned that briefly at the start of the stream. I'm looking forward to it too. 2025 seems so far away, but it's actually rather close. So, yeah, I'm really excited for that. And I hope there are going to be a lot more Pokemon, not just Pangoro and others like that. I think it's very proof of concept, right? What they did with Arceus here. They tried something different, and they weren't quite sure what would happen with it, and everybody loved it, or they hated it. I remember it being pretty big with streamers, but I remember a lot of people saying it's so glitchy, there aren't enough Pokemon, and the criticisms are valid. I'll say the biggest criticism I have with the game is that it's like an hour and I'm still in the tutorial section. It is so handholdy, and the number of quests don't exactly let you explore too freely. Other than that, fantastic game, one of my favorites, might be the best Pokemon game, in my opinion, so absolutely looking forwards to the next Legends game. This is yours, the official uniform of the Survey Corps. Wear it, and we will bury you in it. I know, it's going to happen. Received a Survey Corps uniform and a pair of Survey Corps sandals. Couldn't have given me actual shoes, huh? Get changed in the room you used last night, then you're to report at once to the 3rd floor. Present yourself in uniform to our commander. This is your first official order from your captain. Fine, I can do that. Currently playing Platinum EV training. Ooh! Doing EV training for Weavile. Pokemon League. Fantastic. I didn't usually I didn't usually EV train Pokemon. Like, for the longest time, I just picked cool Pokemon, and that would be my team. But the first time I did do EV training was Brilliant Diamond. I got really into it in Brilliant Diamond when I was breeding my bug team. So I bred like perfect Scythors, and I EV trained them how I wanted them, and then I did it for Heracrosses. Like, I absolutely had to get a pink female Heracross. So I bred and bred and bred shiny, I bred Heracrosses for a shiny female Heracross. That's a 50% chance when you get a shiny. It was painful. And I got it into a love ball too. That thing is my absolute favorite Pokemon. Very important question. Have you hugged your cat today? I don't typically hug her. She does not like that. I let her rest beside my lap for a little while, and I scratched her head. I did not hug her, though. She likes to sit beside me on my chair, you know? She doesn't sit on my lap. No. She likes to sit beside me, so I have to scooch over. Yes. I did share time with my cat. That was fine, yes. I don't know where she is now. Probably curled up somewhere, sleeping. I couldn't tell you. I don't think I've seen her for, I don't know, a couple hours now. Could be anywhere. Probably hiding underneath something like a radiator or something. My eye color is gray. There we go. There, we're looking a lot more like myself already. Kitty search party? She's fine, you know? If she wants to be found, she'll be found. It was like that cat game that I played the other time. What was that horror cat game? A Whisker in Time or something? If they don't want to be found, they absolutely do not want to be found. And I'm always worried about my cats. I have a tendency to pick cats that are very aggressive. Like, at times they're very loving, but at other times they do not want to be looked at. Or even, you know, they don't want to be acknowledged at all. And if you do, they will scratch at you. Yeah. I have a tendency for cats like that. Look how well our Survey Corps uniform suits you. It's going to look so good when you're in your coffin. It's almost as if the captain had it tailored just for you. It's not. We just took it off the last person who died. I see you've changed. Regarding your accommodations, you may continue to use the room you slept in last night. You may wear this as well. I don't know if I like aggressiveness, it just happens, right? Like, I keep getting half-feral cats. I don't go to shelters or anything, like, I just pick up cats that are half-feral. From other places, which, you know, pick them up off the street, usually. And, yeah. The current one came from a litter from a pregnant cat that one of my brothers picked up off the street. And I have no idea where the cats came from, but yeah, I think a little bit of that feralness is passed down to them. And the last cat before that was just straight up feral. Off the streets kind of cat. Yeah. So they have a little bit of wildness in them. A little bit of a will to protect themselves. Like, we never fully domesticated cats in the first place. They're not like dogs. Dogs have been with us for who knows how many tens of thousands of years. And they've been living in our homes and we've trained them. But cats, we live in their homes, right? They have domesticated us. That is very different. Now present yourself to the commander. Okay, I can do that. I will present myself to the commander. So yeah, I don't know. I don't really pick them for their aggressiveness, it's just I happen to get cats which are aggressive. And that's just how it is. I like this guy. I like this guy a lot. Look at that mustache. It's a brilliant mustache.
I've been waiting for you.
That is his voice, yes. Having a cat named Chess because he's white? Oh yeah, yeah. Oh, checkered-like patterns are very cute. The splotchy black and white ones. I really like black cats, and I really like white cats. My favorite cats, though, are mackerel tabbies. With their stripes. Oh, they're so cute. With a little M on their forehead. Although mine currently is, more white than anything. Love naming cats after foods. Diana, you don't eat them, do you? Like, they're just named after foods, right? You don't name one like dinner, do you? Oh, died of poisoning, that's very sad. That is very sad. I don't... Like, people don't consider it, but cats are very small, right? So even a little bit of a toxic substance will be damaging. So it's very important to be careful with anything that might be toxic or poisonous. Especially for, like, humans. If you know something's human or toxic or poisonous to a human, you have to be very careful about cleaning up spills or whatever. But there are some things that are toxic or poisonous just to cats, too. And I understand, that can be very dangerous. I'm very sorry for your loss. No, I just like... just foods I like? Oh, I see. Like, you name your cats after things you like. I think that's fairly common. I don't know about foods, but yeah, naming cats after things you like. It's an association, right? Something that makes you happy associated with something else that'll make you happy. As long as you're not eating them.
I'm Kamado, commander of the Galaxy Expedition Team. So you're Grock.
Yes, sir.
I've been briefed on your situation, including how you fell from the rift in the sky. Now then, let's see what you're made of. Face me in combat.
Are you kidding me? Like, you're an adult, I'm a child. You're also like an extra 1.5 feet above me. Okay, try to throw him. We're not gonna do much charging at him.
Yeah! You got spirit, but nothing else. You've got some fight in you. Your sumo needs work, but I do see some potential. Don't expect a warm welcome from everyone. Naturally, some will be slow to trust an outsider, who literally fell right out of the blue.
These are the olden days, no mercy for kids. That's right, I guess I should have expected that. Like, I'm technically an adult if I'm old enough to earn my keep.
Naturally, some will be slow to trust an outsider who literally fell right out of the sky. The superstitious among us might see your arrival as a portent of disaster. But you passed the trial that was put to you. No matter how odd you may seem, you're part of Jubilife Village now. Dedicate yourself to the work of the Galaxy Expedition Team and complete the Pokedex. But I warn you, Grock, Pokemon are terrifying creatures. Keep your wits about you as you work.
Have I played Elden Ring? No. Souls-likes are out. Sorry. I am not good at Souls-likes. I'm a very casual type gamer. Souls-likes. I played, Dark Souls 1 and Demon Souls in college. They weren't mine. I had a roommate, and he let me play them. And I was so frustrated in the first starting areas that I said never again. I don't have the reflexes for it. I guess you're a Souls-like fan too, Diana? It was an interesting time in college. That roommate also had Karen, and he made me play Karen for a level. I had no idea what was going on. I don't think anyone who plays Karen for the first time has any idea what's going on, but I was especially out of the loop. was fun times, though. I did like watching them, so I learned a little bit about the lore of Souls-like games. I'm especially fond of Bloodborne because of the Lovecraftian elements in it. Just like watching people suffer. Don't you get that enough? Does it have to be specifically me suffering? Like, I get it. There's something fun about watching someone play a Souls-like, and I don't know. Maybe sometime I'll try it. Right? Right, Diana? Well, okay. I can't really say much because some of the content on my channel is pretty evil itself. Yeah, okay. Like attracts like here, right? I'm the evil magnet pulling slightly evil things to me. It's fine. So the commander has also accepted you. But understand this, you begin as a no-star recruit among our ranks. That means you will be getting me coffee every day. And you better get me coffee by the morning. In other words, you have no rank at all. Nots. Perform well as a member of the Survey Corps, and you'll move up through the ranks. Indeed, you see, the more you add to the Pokedex, the higher rank will become. And working on the Pokedex will also, of course, bring you closer toward the goal of yours, of getting home. Not being kidnapped by a god anymore. To seek out every last Pokemon. Here, you will need this. You obtained a recipe for crafting Pokeballs. Great. And $3,000 as well. Don't spend it all on candy. You will have to buy the necessary materials. What am I buying exactly? Akari, you're an expert at crafting yourself. Teach our new recruit what he needs to know. Of course, Captain Silene. Now, as the experienced craftsperson here, let me explain a bit to start with. Crafting means making items with your own two hands. You can buy some items at the general store, but self-sufficiency is worth striving for. You can even make our most valuable tools, Pokeballs. Think where we'd be if we couldn't do that. Let's head to the Craftsworks. Thoughts on toffee? I love toffee. I like anything that is, sugar that has been partially caramelized. Like, I'm a big fan of caramel. Toffee is a bit hard for my teeth, but I do like the taste. The tutorial section is surprisingly long. We're not even done yet. Well done earning a place in our team. My name is... Oh, sorry. My name's Antha. I'm the local clothier. The professor asked that I ready a change of clothes, so here you go. I do hope they fit. Yes, that is her voice. You received an everyday kimono and a pair of everyday trousers. I hope you'll avail yourself of the village's humble shops. When I get more money, maybe. The tutorial section, again, is one of my biggest gripes with this game. I do hope they improve upon that for Legends Zygarde, I believe it is. One of your favorites. I'm glad we're in agreement. Caramelized sugar is just a fantastic treat, and it doesn't need to get more complicated than that. Hate sugary stuff? Oh. Well, it's okay. It's okay. People have all kinds of tastes, right? I won't judge you for it. I have a massive sweet tooth. I really do. I don't eat sweets as often as I would like. I try to limit myself. But I do like the sweet, kind of burnt notes of caramel. Like, coffee also has that roasted earthiness to it. You don't really get it in toffee. Like, you do get it, but it's so masked by the sweetness that it sort of mellows it out. I think that's what I like about the toffee the most, right? That kind of earthy, roasted kind of thing going on. Oh, gym guy. Oh, I see. Yes, you gotta do the paleo or the, keto, right? You're an 8-year-old. You might be too young for my chat. This place is typically pretty safe for work, But if you are literally 8, some of the themes might be a little bit too much for you. I do apologize. I do question how you got here at what is essentially 3:21 a.m. for me. But yeah, being... Like, I get counting your calories. I'm 80. Great. We got some diversity in chat, right? A factor of 10. You play this game? It's a nice game, don't get me wrong. It appeals to all ages, from 8 to 80. 12:52 p.m. Oh wow. Wow, you're like on the other side of the world. 800, another factor of 10. Alright, factor of 100 from the original. Oh, I see, I see. So I'm getting a lot of people from all over the world here. I did not expect that. I was expecting from India. Oh, so it really is a lot over the world here. I usually get like mostly US viewers. I don't know, maybe I'm streaming later than I usually do. But it's good to have you all here. Hopefully the themes aren't too dark. But if they are, yeah, there is your warning. You can use this workbench here at the Craftworks anytime you need to make an item at the village. I do love this game though. As long as the tutorial is, I keep coming back to it. Friday. Oh, that's true, Diana, that's true. It is Friday, or in a lot of places Saturday now. I didn't even think about that. Like, I'm so used to streaming on Sunday, well, Mondays, early Monday mornings, that I didn't even realize that it was Friday night into Saturday morning. Why are you streaming this late? I used to work 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. shifts. So, I never got off the night shift schedule. Although I do work earlier in the day these days. Somewhere around, if I wake up on time, 6 to about, I don't know, 12. It's a short work day from home, so I can't complain. Hyde burns in the sunlight? I do not burn in the sunlight. Where do you think all those nature videos come from? I'm not a ghost. I don't disappear into vapors in the morning. And I'll supply what you need to make your first Pokeballs once you're ready to begin. Call it my way of saying congratulations on joining us. Extraordinarily rare? Well, you know, you say it's a rare medical condition, and it is. There are people who are allergic to light. They have extreme photosensitivity. I knew a person like that. I don't know how much I can say about that. Like, I actually knew a person with that condition. And it was very tragic. The family had to get special light bulbs for indoors just because of the photosensitivity of that person's skin. Bro is a vampire for real, for real? No cap. No. Although that does remind me, one of my earliest videos on this channel is me doing Vampire BFE. It's a short. That's all I'm going to say about that. If you're curious, look into it. Just spend the money you got from the captain on clothes, or whatever you think is best. Go up to the workbench and choose an item to craft, in this case a Pokeball. Yes, I know how to use a crafting bench, thank you. I have played Minecraft a little bit in my life. I'm just gonna craft them all. There we go. Look, I made some Pokeballs. Stay away from the slang. How do you do, fellow kids? It's the bee's knees, Diana. You don't think I'm hip to the jive? I'm a hep cat. I'm a cool cat. I know all about, the lettuce and the bread and the dough. Oh, now that's some fine craftsmanship. Hard to believe this was your first time stepping up to the cap, for real, for real. Stepping up to the workbench, my boy. Yes, I realize how awful it sounds. In the wrong century? Just for the record, I am Victorian. Remember, I am Edward Hyde. Being from the Victorian era as I am, it should be no surprise that I am in fact in the wrong century. You'll recall, of course, that Pokemon possess the odd power to shrink themselves down. Anything does, so long as you stuff it in hard enough. With the Pokeballs we craft, we can make use of that power to catch them. You named your Sharpedo. Ooh. Ooh, that's a deep joke, isn't it? That is... You got me there, Diana. But here's the thing, glasswork was very common in the Victorian era. In fact, most scientists knew how to blow their own glass bottles to make their own glass apparati. The silicon stopper that you're hearing could be made of something similar to, Bakelite. Or what was the... Oh, was it cellophane? The highly flammable plastic that was made into jewelry in the Victorian era. It would just spontaneously ignite on a hot day. I don't remember the name of that. Lost the eye bags, I'm done for? That's right. I am feeling slightly less tired these days. Or these hours, as it may be. No, there were rubber stoppers in the Victorian era. I know that for certain. And I know there were early plastics in the Victorian era. There might not have been silicone, that's for sure. But there were definitely glass bottles. Nothing but. Even back then, I don't think they used early plastics for bottles or containers like that. They were just too unstable, right? Again, I'm talking about so unstable that a strong ray of sunshine will literally spontaneously combust them. Not ideal, but, you know, modern plastics are derived from that kind of technology, that kind of polymerization, so kinda happy for all the spontaneous combustions that happened in my era. Also that more Pokemon species can be duly recorded in the Pokedex. And on that note, here you are. Yes, fire. Fire emote. A volume for compiling the collected results of much Pokemon research. Okay, we have a Pokedex. I like how it's very simple, like it's just a bound book. I prepared this volume just for you. Now go and do my research for me, young boy. I hope it aids you well in your aim to seek out all the Pokemon there are in this grand region. If you complete it, I can put my name on it. And then I'll do research on it, and say it was all me. Been staring at it for 50 minutes? What the hell is behind you? That's Rupert Grint. Hold on a second. Yeah, that's Rupert Grint. If you haven't seen the new video, it's Rupert Grint. Kind of. It's an AI model of Rupert Grint. I actually animated it myself. Watch my recent video, Diana. Watch my recent video. Why is it there now? Because I thought it would be funny. And I'm not wrong, am I? I had a good laugh. What Pokemon you don't want to face in real life? Oh, Gyarados would be very terrifying in real life. Oh yeah, yeah. Gyarados is water flying now too, right? Like, I always thought it should be a dragon type. I don't know why it's water flying. It'd be pretty terrifying to have a flying water dragon coming at you, especially one so big. I think I would hate fighting Whale Lord, just because, you know... How do you attack a Whale Lord? They have so much blubber on them, they're so huge. Like, how do you get through that? There's no chance you'll win, unless you're on land, in which case, I guess you win by default. But Whale Lords aren't going to be a problem to fight on land anyway. But they could definitely sink a ship, and you would not be able to do anything against a Whale Lord. So yeah, that's my answer. Why has he joined up? Weird man? Diana, you've been on my channel for how long now? You know what's up, don't you? Diana, you know what's up on my channel, don't you? you You know what kind of content I make, right? Even Hyde, he's not that normal, Diana. Hyde is, still there. Skitties do just fine. So I don't think you need to worry about. Oh yeah, that's true. You're talking about the, You know what? There was that, There were those cuteness competitions, the beauty pageants, and... What games were those? Were those Diamond and Pearl? The one with the... What were they called? Little cake making mini game. I hated that cake making mini game. I think that was Brilliant Diamond, or no, that was Original Diamond as well. Yes, the Poffins, the Poffin case. 3rd gen? Was it? Maybe. But I always remembered, Whale Lords being cuter than Skitties. Don't need to worry about Whale Lords. You could definitely take one down with a Skitty. Like, I assumed the question was, what would you hate facing as a human? And as a human, I don't have too many specialized attacking capabilities. Like, maybe tools. But I don't own an RPG. And I kind of think that's what you would need to get through all that blubber of a Whale Lord. Have you seen the size comparison of a Whale Lord to a human trainer? They're just gigantic. There's a lot of mass to get through. Whale Lords are passive? Sure. Sure. But if you had to fight one, they could swallow you whole. And then you'd just be stuck in a Whale Lord. 4th gen? I think it was 4th gen, I can't remember. Don't know, I don't... Yeah, I don't know what you don't know. I don't know what I know either. There are a lot of Pokemon that I would just not want to fight in real life. But some of them are at least small enough that I feel like a well-placed hit to the body could at least incapacitate them. When you're getting onto Pokemon the size of Wailord or any of the legendaries that are that big, like there's a Pokemon that's just a building now. I don't think I'd want to fight that. I can't remember what that one was. That was from the Alola region. I don't think I'd want to fight that. Yeah. A Gliscor would be not fun to fight against for sure, but try fighting a building. You'll have to complete lots of research tasks to help the professor fill out the Pokedex. Same goes for me, of course. I've also got Pokemon to research as Survey Corps member. I'd be all too happy to explain more about the research task I could use your assistance with. Come join me at the field camps. Fieldlands Camp, whenever you're ready, my good Grock. There are just a lot of Pokemon that just... I don't know. Is there a Pokemon that you actually feel confident in facing? Because I don't. Even if I went up against like a Caterpie or a Wurmple... I say Wurmple because we're talking to Beauregard. If you're going to the Fieldlands Camp, would you mind taking care of a request for me? I'm standing guard, so I can't leave my post, but I'll be here at headquarters if you want to talk about it. Yes, okay. That's the other thing that I don't really like that much about this game. There are a lot of requests. Imagine fighting a building is easy. I don't know. I really don't want to get onto politics in my channel. I'm just gonna say that. Yeah. Yeah, I guess if I were a demolitions expert, it would be easy enough that you could just take out the foundation of the Pokemon and it would topple over. Be top heavy, right? So maybe fighting a building type Pokemon wouldn't be that bad. But there are also Pokemon that can literally just melt your brain. They have an IQ of like 50,000 and they have telekinesis and they can melt your brain. See, Hyde is extra uncomfy tonight. Hyde was extra uncomfy tonight. You'll beat Clefable? You hate Clefable. Why don't you like Clefable? Clefable seems like a Pokemon that you could probably take down on your own. They only come about to waist high. And they seem so fluffy and, you know, round. They have those short, stubby little legs and arms. No claws. But they are psychic types, right? Or they're fairy types now. I don't know. It'd be like, there are all of these old tales about fairies misleading people in the woods or in the wilds and leading them astray. So I think that would be a Pokemon that would have a lot of mind games on its side, illusions, and psychic trickery. It'd be very disorienting to try and fight a Clefable, I think. Nope, started as normal, then became a fairy? Right. You know, Clefairy? Yes, yes. Right, I was trying to remember what they turned it into. Absolutely, I remember it being normal. I remember it being so hard to catch Clefairies, and Clefables for that matter. They were such a rare Pokemon in Mount Moon. I definitely played a lot of Pokemon on, I guess it would have been my Game Boy Color back then, trying to catch those. Oh, okay, in competitive Pokemon. Yeah, okay. I can understand why you hate them then. They can be a bit of a pain with their minimized strats, right? Yeah. Hey, so there's this Pokemon called Wurmple. Have you heard of it? No. Well, you see, I was having a chat with Professor Laventon, and he told me that after a Pokemon gains a certain amount of experience, through battling and the like, it'll sometimes change its appearance and become stronger. Said it was a phenomenon called evolution. Yes, I know about evolution. And so I decided I want to raise a Wurmple myself and have it evolve. You're part of the Survey Corps, aren't you? If you catch a Wurmple, could you let me have it? There'll be a reward in it for you, I promise. Just give me a Wurmple if you can. See, I played a lot of, Pokemon with bug teams, right? So, I didn't really play competitive Pokemon. If you think about it, there's only one advantage to using a bug-type Pokemon, and that advantage is that they evolve quickly. They evolve quickly. That's it. They have very low base stats at their final evolutions, right? Want a bonus challenge? What are you thinking, Diana? Heading outside the village, are we? Stay safe out there, kid. I'm up for a bonus challenge if there is a reasonable bonus challenge. Did you know Machamp is only 5 foot tall? I guess that makes sense when the trainers are supposed to be like 10-year-old children, and the Machamp is like double their size. It's very strange for me to think that a Machamp would be smaller than me, but yeah. Give the Wurmple guy a shiny Wurmple. Oh, the delay is really bad today? Oh, I didn't know. I definitely set it to low, but I can check that for next time. You probably are very delayed. I noticed last time I streamed, even when it was on low, that it was not great. I did consider upping it to very low, but I know that messes with buffering, and buffering's a lot worse than me getting a delayed chat message or something. I think so. Give the Wurmple guy a shiny Wurmple. You know, I've caught a shiny Wurmple every single time I've played this game, and I've played it more than once. If I catch a shiny Wurmple, I will give him a shiny Wurmple. I don't need any more shiny Wurmples, I can tell you that. Righto, let's get to it then, shall we? Sorry, that's not the right voice for him. In order to complete this Pokedex of ours, there are a great many research tasks I'll need your help to carry out, my boy. Good. Good. Is it good? I hope it is. The details of these tasks can be found in your Pokedex for your reference anytime. Yes, I know. You must catch and battle diverse Pokemon species and carry out plenty of research tasks. Do so, and you'll gain research points and other rewards for your work. One last piece of advice, Grock. If you see a wild Pokemon's attack coming your way, dodge like your life depends on it. Here we are, Diana. We're becoming a Souls-like game. You wanted to see me suffer? Wait until you see me suffer trying to avoid Pokemon attacks. Dodge? Say again? Here, watch closely, and remember what I do so you can do it later. We are become Souls-like. Yep. That's right. We get the full dodge roll. Look at how smug she was. That beautiful flowing bit of gymnastics is what we call a dodge. If you're light on your feet, you can dodge out of the way of wild Pokemon attacks. Imagine running from Guts Ursaluna. Oh, Guts Ursaluna would just be a murder machine, right? I can imagine. On a full moon, a Guts Ursaluna would probably just be like the worst possible thing to run into in the dark in the woods. Just on a rampage, right? Yeah. The security corps had to collect me when I got the business end of some Shinx's Thunder Shock. But don't you worry, I've got lots of experience to draw on and I'll teach you plenty. One shots everything with... Oh, I wasn't even thinking like that. I was just thinking like in lore, you have this ravenous bear. But yeah, that would just be absolutely horrible. There we go, dodge roll. One-shotting everything. Be a great sweeper, I think. I don't know how to, I don't think any of the Hisuian variants have been in any recent games, have they? Are they in Scarlet and Violet? That you can put them into competitive? I'm not sure. But it probably has pretty good stats. 140 attack plus 1.5 from the guts, and 140... Yeah, they are. I didn't play Scarlet and Violet yet. I have this thing where, I'm waiting to see if I actually want to play Scarlet and Violet. See, Game Freak did the Game Freak thing, and, yeah. I don't really get political on the channel, but... Game Freak... Need I say more? Now let me share some Survey Corps wisdom. Been a while, man. Been a while. Diana's seen some things here. Been a while. I'll tell you the last Pokemon game that I played was probably Brilliant Diamond, yeah. Don't think they're gonna fix it? Yeah. Now I'm sad again, Diana. You're absolutely right. I don't think they are going to fix it. I think, we're going to have to wait for alternatives like Pal World. I hate to say it, but I do think other people are going to make better Pokemon games than Game Freak if they continue doing what they're doing. I think a lot of their design choices were actually well thought out. I think a lot of them were made for people who are casual gamers or new to the franchise. A lot of their older users or older players are aging, and they might not play the games anymore. But their children will, so long as they're easy and casual. Yes, he is nerfed. That's right. My power level has decreased by a couple 100 points. It's true. When I get tired, it happens. Ursaluna has a new form in Scarlet? Ooh, Blood Moon. Special attacker. 135 special attack. That ain't bad. I don't know if it's worth the hassle of going through Ursaluna stuff. Like, in this game, you literally have to watch the moon to evolve into an Ursaluna. Which is not ideal, because there's a very limited window for when you can evolve something into an Ursaluna. When you have the right item. Yeah. 135 is not bad though. Again, I didn't play too much competitive, so I don't really know what the modern options are. No, I have not seen King Gambit. I have not. You have something to tell me about King Gambit? Focus on Pokemon with the ZL button, then press the down button to open the Pokedex. You'll see what task you have for the Pokemon. There's a Bidoof. You might have noticed that you have a research task to do with how many Bidoof you've caught. That's right, catching just one isn't enough. You need 2, then 4, then more and more. Then you can put them in an ark. Then we can sail through the floods when Arceus decides to drown this forsaken world. Sharper Evolution. I have not seen that. Again, modern Pokemon. The last one I have played is Brilliant Diamond. And I had a lot of fun with it. But yeah. Yeah, I'm not too happy with Game Freak. I am excited for Legends Zygarde. I will say that much. Because I don't really expect it to be a Pokemon game. I expect it to be a Pokemon Legends game, right? It's like getting a Pokemon Snap game and being like, yeah, this isn't Pokemon. So it's fine if there's not, you know, everything you might expect. Although this might be an unpopular opinion. I do, I do have the new Pokemon Snap game, but I prefer the original. Wonderful! Mostly because of Professor Oak. Remember the captain's switching wisdom. If you have items out, press X to ready your Pokemon. Give it a try now if you want. I'll go on ahead. Yeah, let's do that. Watch this. We will catch a Bidoof. They are so stupid, you don't have to worry about it. So easy. If every Pokemon faints and Kingambit stays alive, 50% stronger. So he's like your final attacker. The last line of defense. I could see that working out in some strange builds. When I had to play Bug-type Pokemon only, I had to make some very strange builds. Like I would use Shuckle Trick Room stuff. Wow, okay. Bad luck on these Pokemon. I was wrong, apparently. They're not that dumb. I'd make like trick build or trick room builds, and Silver Wind was a very important move for bug types. And I don't know if you know this, but in Brilliant Diamond they actually removed Silver Wind from the Pokemon moveset. Last Resort Bro Sweeps, yeah. Yeah. I could see that definitely being a game changer. But I know there are other kind of strange builds that would be more meta. Didn't know that? Didn't know what exactly. Like, I remember when Toxic was one of the biggest meta plays there was for competitive Pokemon, and everyone was complaining about Toxic builds. I think you've got it, but as a reminder, don't forget to open your Pokedex when you focus on a Pokemon to catch your research task for it. No thank you, Akari. I'm good. Silver Wind, fun fact. Oh, right. Yeah. When I first played Brilliant Diamond, I went through the Great Marsh like 10 different times trying to find the TM that was supposed to be there, that was there in actual Diamond, and then I had to look it up, and I learned that they removed Silver Wind from the game entirely. It was very painful. Silver Wind is such a great move because it allows you to raise your bug-type Pokemon's stats randomly, but they need it. They absolutely need that kind of balance or else they're worthless in any sort of format. They are worthless. It's very hard to run competitive bug-type Pokemon. I guess there are different forms of competitive Pokemon, right? Like there are different tiers and leagues and different restrictions. But running bug-type teams is just insane. It's very not great. The stats just aren't there. Yeah, if you have Serene Grace, it's pretty good. It's true. Okay, let me rephrase this. Quiver Dance? Quiver Dance is pretty good. I won't disagree with you there. Let me rephrase this. In older Pokemon, there wasn't much you could do to make a bug team viable. Obviously, Silver Wind is not on its own viable. But when you're talking about a bug-type team, like, it makes sense if you have a baton pass as well. Uh, it is such a stupid build, and it's not very competitive. But I can tell you, there are some strange things you can do with Silver Wind and Baton Pass, if you get lucky. That's the problem, though. It's not a guaranteed kind of thing. Silver Wind is one of those moves which randomly increases stats. Yes, that's exactly right. No bug types are great. They have very low base stats, even at their final evolutions. That's one of the biggest drawbacks of a bug type Pokemon. They evolve quickly, so when you're progressing through a story game, like through the game as a single player, not competitive minded, it's fine because you get stronger Pokemon more quickly. And that's a trade off that you can then just replace the Pokemon later. Yes, Baton Pass is broken and also potentially banned depending on whatever you're talking about, yes. um, yes, Baton Pass builds are very strange. But in my defense, I was playing only bug types. I needed something, right? And it's not like I was playing competitive. I was just going through like battle rooms and playing against random people who had like 6 different legendaries on their team. I had to do something to even the scales, right? So yeah, Baton Pass. You good? Thank you. Thank you for your seal of approval. One of your tasks is to catch Starly without being spotted, huh? For that task, try catching them while hiding in some tall grass. I get it. I was definitely playing a bit cheeky. I'll go wait for you up ahead. Come catch up once you finish some tasks. And I realized that none of my strategies would have worked as far as actual competitive. But that's fine, right? I was having fun. I was breeding bugs. I was playing as Brug, the bug-type Pokemon trainer. And now we have Grock, the grass-type Pokemon trainer. I think it's all great to enjoy Pokemon however you want to enjoy Pokemon. I can't say there's a right or wrong way to enjoy Pokemon. I can tell you there are some unfortunate ways to enjoy Pokemon. And one of those unfortunate ways to enjoy Pokemon is to enjoy recent Pokemon games. Yeah, as long as you have fun, right? That's the big thing with the game. Like, I get it. It makes sense to have certain rules when you're playing competitive and you're trying to set up a tournament with a bunch of different people. But that's not really what I'm doing, right? I'm just enjoying the game in my free time. I can be a bug-type Pokemon trainer, I can be a grass-type Pokemon trainer. Speaking of, there are only 2 grass types that I can think of in this section of the game. There are Burmese, and there are, not Wurmples, Paris. Parasect too, so 3. There are 3 types. Although Paris and Parasect are pretty much the same. Is that Wurmple sleeping? That's kind of adorable. Look at that thing. So adorable. And I just missed it entirely. We're gonna look for that shiny Wurmple. See if we can't find one down here. They should be a bright purple. I don't remember if Wurmples automatically evolve into, what are they, Duskoons or Silcoons, depending on whether you give them the Beauregard. I think they always turn into a Duskoon when you give them the Beauregard. Oh, I love Paris, by the way. Competitive Pokemon is frustrating. It really is. It's very hard. I tried to learn it. I tried to have like a status effect team member for like what was it? Not Steel Spikes. Can't remember. It was the one that had Fortress. Fortress had the move, and there were rock chips that would dig into the Pokemon. Can't remember. But you needed one of those on entry, and I tried to have a sweeper, and I tried to have this and that. Heracross Guts was a pretty good combo. I always really liked having my Heracross have Guts. Hidden abilities were fun, getting into breeding those. But I absolutely love Paris in this game and outside of this game. Paris is one of my favorite Pokemons. Yeah. Paris is just an arthropod infected with a mushroom. What's not to love? Love Paris? They're very cute. You don't like them in this game. What's wrong with them in this game? What's wrong with Paris in this game? Like, I get Parasect. Okay. I get Parasect, I really do. Parasect in this game has such a big floppy mushroom. Like, the jiggle physics on the mushroom of a Parasect are just disgusting to me. They're Hitmen? I guess. They're very... Like, do you mean, like, outside of battle? They'll snipe you? They do. The Parasect is... Yeah, the Parasect especially likes to snipe. But the only thing I have against any Parasect in this game is really the floppiness of their mushroom. You'll see. Very ominous. Yes, outside of battle. Okay, okay. I think there are worse Pokemon for it. Yeah, the Driftbloons are pretty bad. Alakazam, the Alpha Alakazam is awful. I hate it. I guess when you're just talking normal Pokemon, Paris is pretty bad. Okay, okay. I get what you're saying. But I don't know. I think they're too cute. Sorry. The only thing else that I would say about Paris is that I wish Paris had a better shiny. Inteleon used Snipe Shot. Posing Gumshoes avoided the attack. Yes. They are very much snipers in this game. I'll give you that. They do attack from a far range, and they do have pretty good seeing and hearing despite being infected by mushrooms. You wouldn't think they'd have that, but they do. Around here you can find a Pokemon called Weasel. It's got an aggressive disposition. Did you get the reference? Was it a reference, or were you just talking about Pokemon? Inteleon use... I don't get the reference if it's a reference. Unless it's a reference to Pokemon. That means it'll try to hit you with its moves, just like Shinx. And you'll need to battle it to catch it. I must admit that I am an old man. And my memory is very old. Dangers of taking damage? I don't have to worry about that. Speaking of which, your research task for the Weasel includes seeing it as use a certain move. To be precise, you have to see it use the move in battle. That's right, some tasks require battling. You keep trying to get me into, Eee. You keep trying to get me into these talks, huh? Oof. Yes, I get it. I get it. I get it. In that case, I will repeat what I said. I try not to be. A little bit, Diana, a little bit. I try not to, the way I see entertainment is that it's an escapism, right? Like, we're all here for a good time. So I try not to talk about things that could cause people not to have good times. Like, I will have dark humor. And I absolutely don't mind it. But, yeah. The joke is funny. I will tell you that much. Thinking about the Pokemon, thinking about the moves, thinking about how Gumshoes looks. Yes, okay. Depends on the environment. Not all entertainment. Yeah, true. Let's just say that I try to make this escapism. And, it's supposed to be distraction. Dark humor. Well, we like dark humor here. Definitely not a problem with dark humor. But yeah, I try to avoid politics when possible. I try to avoid, religion unless I'm a cult leader. In which case, talking about religion, I'm the cult leader. So yeah. Now I'll go on ahead. You take care of some of Weasel's research tasks and then come talk to me. hate politics too. I think a lot of people do, which is just another reason for a streamer like me not to talk about them, right? That's how I see it, at least. I'd rather just talk about Pokemon or some random thing. I don't know. This Weasel is very weak, right? And I'm pretty sure it's a water type as well. Yeah. Extra weak. Hints just keep flying past you? Flying? Flying type. Flying type. None are directly hitting. Am I being memed on? I don't know what's going on here. Why Rowlet is so round? I think Rowlet is so round because the Pokemon team wanted a very cute Pokemon. Not a hint for me. Oh, I see. Okay. If it's not a hint for me, then that's fine too. It's cool. You don't have to tell me hints. Like, I'm an old man, I don't get the game very well. That's cool though, you know? Old man just doing his old man thing. Anyway, I think they're so round because round is very cute, right? Like, say what you want about Rowlet, but it has a cute bow tie and a very round body. And that makes it very cute. Right? That's a tiny Bidoof. 26. Ugh. Try... older. Older. I believe in the old man. Old enough that Pokemon Yellow helped me, learn how to read. How about that? I don't want to talk about it anymore. Officially, I am over 187 years old, having been 50 in the Victorian era. You're really doing quite well for yourself. Something like that. Here, a little reward for keeping up with me. Your own crafting kit. And I've aged 50 years. You aged 50 years in just this one stream? Oh wow, that's pretty bad. You obtained a crafting kit. Like, I know my, content is pretty bad for the health, but yeah, 50 years in one stream's pretty bad. And here's a recipe for potions, too. Ooh, you didn't have to confirm it, Diana. You didn't have to confirm it. You could have said no. No, it wasn't your stream that caused my increased aging. Old 2? 21? I'm just gonna sit down and cry for a little bit, okay? I'm just gonna sit down over here and, just have a quick little cry. It's fine. No, it's okay. You're only as old as you feel, right? And despite me feeling pretty old, your laughter through those tears. Yeah, it's a coping mechanism, Diana. It's a coping mechanism. I think it's perfectly fine to play whatever video game you want, at whatever age you are, right? It doesn't have to be for a certain audience. Like, anybody can enjoy Pokemon. So, if you're an old man at 21 or an old man at an older age playing Pokemon while streaming to an audience, it's fine. I'm not crying. It's fine. It's perfectly fine, though, to play Pokemon at whatever age you want. That's part of the fun of being an adult, right? You get to spend your free time doing whatever you want. Now, the problem with that is, being an adult means you don't have much free time. A lot of the time. So I get it. But yeah, that is part of the fun, isn't it? You get some free time. Oh, don't be concerned. I'm just being dramatic. It's a running joke that I'm an old man, right? If you look at my Twitter account, I have a quote-unquote Oshi mark with the old man emoji. So it's a running joke that I'm an old man. I realize that 30 or a little bit over that isn't that old comparatively. If in the Victorian era most people didn't live to be 30. Hyde is very concerning. It really does. If you stick around, and we'd always like to have you here if you want to stick around. Yeah, if you stick around, you'll get used to it, I hope. Just be wary of Jekyll, and be wary of Id, and you'll probably be fine. Like, don't give Id any money, and don't give Jekyll any contracts signing away the rights to your organs, and you'll probably be fine on this channel. Or with an oranberry and a medicinal leek, you can make a potion, so do heal your Pokemon. Thank you, Akari. Very kind of you. How goes your research? The cover of your Pokedex will tell you if there are tasks you've finished and can report. 15. I don't think I've completed anything. You're doing a poor job, Grock. Maybe go back out and do some research. Please report back to Professor Laventon once you've got more research tasks good and done. You're not doing good enough, Grock. You're not doing well. I'm going to win at this point, Grock. Then where's all your spite going? I'll tell you what, I've had a fun time tonight. But it is getting late for me. It's already 4:08 a.m. So I'm gonna end it here. I had a lot of fun, and I do appreciate everyone for showing up. I know this was an unannounced stream, and I really didn't expect anyone to show up. Usually, it's just one of those things. I don't stream at this hour. I don't stream on these days. Usually, Sunday night into Monday morning is my one stream of the week. Not even done with the tutorial. I know, right? Like, I know. I tried, okay? I was streaming for 2 hours. I didn't get done with the tutorial. Like I said, that's my one big gripe with the game. That it is just too long of a tutorial. And there's nothing you can do about it. I considered not even playing the tutorial section. I have another save that I could have used. But then I wouldn't have been able to experience it fresh and complain about being kidnapped. Yeah, bro, good night? Or good morning? Both, or neither. And I hope you have a good day, or comparatively whatever it is. Yep, I had a lot of fun. Thank you for showing up, and I will see you all next time. I love you all, but for now, hide out. Good night.